Hello, Virgo. Thank you for joining me here at Leaping Lotus Tarot. I have a new, I think it's pronounced Kawaii deck. It's super cute. Hit like and subscribe if this message resonates for you. Drop in the comments. Okay, we've got a card out already. We've got the Eight of Swords in reverse. So somebody's finally feeling the weight of restriction being lifted off their shoulders. And they're moving into a new passion with the Ace of Wands. So something is starting fresh. Somebody finally feels freed. They're like, okay, I can start anew. I can begin again. Page of Swords reversed. Okay, that's a little interesting. So let's get some clarity on that. What is the Page of Swords reversed here? The Tower, 10 of Pentacles, and 3 of Wands. Wow, okay. So with the Tower, you know, I mean, if you look at the imagery of the Tower, super cute, right? Not sad at all, not even stressful in the slightest, okay? So this is the breaking down of something, the falling apart of something, but it's coming into something great. And what is that great thing? Well, the 10 of Pentacles, ultimate happiness, ultimate financial success, family, all the things that everyone wants, right? And then we also have 3 of Wands. So there may be a decision to have to move somewhere else or to have to, you know, make some choice to step into something else. And that was clarity for the Page of Swords reverse. So what I'm getting with the Page of Swords in reverse, I guess it's just that maybe somebody initially, maybe might have been unsure if they wanted to take that new step, right? But they are. It looks like they are because the Ace of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, the Tower, right? Whatever they're currently doing in their life, they being you or whoever you're listening for, you know, they made that choice, the 3 of Wands, to step towards it, okay? Interesting. Okay, so super exciting. Tell me more about, okay, we got the Fool. Yeah, for sure, new beginnings. Page of Pentacles upright. So now that we have another page out and it's clarified with like a Pentacles versus a Sword energy, I think that if somebody was unsure about the decision before, it could have been in regards to some sort of financial thing. We just had 4 cards fall out, but I'm going to shuffle everything back together and just start fresh with a clarifying question. Tell me more about the 10 of Pentacles. One of the cards that fell out was Judgment, so I do feel called to mention that. So tell me about like 10 of Pentacles, but also in regards to Judgment. Because it does feel like there was some sort of interesting decision made here. Okay, Page of Cups. So there is something significant that we've had 3 pages come out so far. And so with the one that was in reverse initially with the Swords, and now we have Cups and, was it Wands? Yeah. No, Pentacles, it was Pentacles. There is something about, okay, Justice is in reverse and we got 6 of Cups in reverse. So whatever somebody moved away from, it feels like it was something that, so with 6 of Cups, we have nostalgia, right? We've got sort of karmic energy or past soulmate type of vibe. So when it's in reverse, it's kind of telling me like injustice too. It's like the path that you should have taken, right, in quotes, or the path that you were on that was, you know, seemed to be most in alignment for you in a sense, or like the path that you seemed, so the path that it seemed like you were destined to be on, meaning like I wouldn't be surprised if we get like the Hierophant or the Hierophant reverse come out, because it's like traditionally what, you know, on paper, not even on paper, this is so interesting how to describe this. Okay, so I guess like family values, if you think of that, you know, maybe it's something your parents would have wanted you to have done, or like a natural skill set that you have, you know, you just naturally were going down the progression of that path because it's your skill. It's something that you've done in the past. It's something that like made sense for you to do. But with this Page of Cups, it's like saying that there's something new that you're starting into. We had the Ace of Wands, right? Why is Justice in reverse though? That's what's kind of interesting here. Is it like, I think that's what was giving me the energy of like, this is something that you should have done. But the fact that you're moving into a new passion and like have that 6 of Cups in reverse, it just feels like whatever the past thing was is not in alignment for you. We have the Queen of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. This is very interesting. The 10 of Wands is sort of sideways here. Why is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse? I need a little more clarity. Six of Swords kind of sideways. Yeah, somebody just wasn't sure if they wanted this decision to like move forward and move on. Maybe they thought that they weren't going to get their financial abundance somehow. Like maybe there was financial stability in, you know, the gift that you have, the thing that you've been, you know, seemed like was the path for you to be on. There was stability in that because it's your gift, right? Or it was something that your parents wanted you to do, or there was some sort of stability in it. And so you're afraid that if you move away from it, that you're going to somehow lose that stability. But you're not. King of Wands came out, okay? You're being very empowered to step into this. Very empowered. And you had that Ten of Pentacles. You can't forget that, right? Tell me more about the King of Wands. Ooh, wow, that came out very clearly. Oh, wow. Ace of Swords in reverse, Temperance in reverse, Seven of Cups. Ooh, this is interesting energy. So the King of Wands could be a Sagittarius because we have Temperance here. Somebody's not sure about something because there's a lot of decisions. Why is the Ace of Swords in reverse? 5 for 5 on the timer. It feels like somebody might be unsure of a choice. But somebody's like clear in their choice, but like maybe not clear with a person. The Fool, Two of Swords in reverse, Queen of Wands in reverse. Ooh, okay. Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. Somebody realizes that they have options. This Queen of Pentacles in reverse is coming through also as a Queen of Wands. And there's a King of Wands upright. So there's a potential that this person could be, this queen could be wanting to be with like a Sagittarius or is with a Sagittarius. But she's kind of worried that she may need to, I don't know if I should say worried, because the Two of Swords is in reverse. That's like, you know, upright, it's indecisiveness. And there's Seven of Cups. So it's like someone's feeling almost decisive about the fact that there's options. But there is sort of a lack of clarity with it. There is sort of imbalance here. New journey. Okay. If she does decide to make this change into this new passion, it almost feels like she has to leave something else behind that she's not entirely sure if she wants to leave behind. But regardless, it's okay because there's the Ten of Pentacles. Tell me more about the Fool. Tell me about the Fool energy. Ace of Swords upright, Nine of Wands. Whatever this choice is of whatever they're moving into, this clarity, it's not going to be easy. You know, it's not your most natural path that made the most sense for you. So there's going to take some effort. I'm going to pull from the Oracle of Pluto here. Tell me more about this clarity. Tell me about this Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands type of energy from this Oracle deck, please. Camel and Goat. Interesting. Yeah, again with the Nine of Wands and the Camel, it's like if you think about the Nine of Wands, it's a wounded warrior card. It's like somebody who's kind of tired, who's been through a lot. We also had that Ten of Wands come out earlier. So this is not an easy, this is a, you know, this takes effort. It's tiring. It's a burdensome load to carry towards a destination. Kind of reminds you of camels, right? Carrying a burdensome load through the desert, you know, going to some sort of destination. It's long, it's arduous. It could be dehydrating and depleting. But you have the reserves because you're a camel. But there's this, you know, this shadow, like it's a shadow hand of a camel. So there is some sort of illusion with it. Same thing with this goat energy, sort of like Capricorn vibes, you know, working hard. There's a lot of like references to, oh, we had the Queen of Wands. Wow, sitting upright. Okay, this is validation. I was just sitting right on top of my deck when I looked down. I must have just flipped over when I was shuffling around and stuff. Wow. Okay, so yeah, your passion lies with your ability to persevere. What should you persevere towards? Is it this new thing? Is it the old thing? What should you persevere towards? The Moon, your intuition. You need to pursue towards, you know, your gut instinct here. Eight of Cups in reverse, Knight of Cups in reverse. This is tricky. I just do feel like there's a very back and forth here around moving towards this thing. You know, are you sure this is the right thing to move towards? Following in your intuition for sure. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There is something really about money here. Whatever this new thing, like maybe you've invested a lot into whatever this past thing that that has been reliably making you money, and whatever this new thing is, seems like it's a risk for money in some way. It's like an arduous path. Maybe you're going back to school. Maybe you're going back to school and, you know, school loans, and it's, you know, maybe you're going for your 4-year degree or something like that. And so it's going to be expensive. It's also going to be arduous. What else do I need to know from the tarot? King of Pentacles in reverse. The World in reverse. You know, if you're dealing with a Capricorn energy, some sort of earth sign, Taurus, I mean, this is a Virgo reading, but it just feels like if you are in a romantic situation where you're having to choose between a King of Wands or a King of Pentacles, it feels like you're going to choose the King of Wands. Just because of how we've had the Queen of Pentacles come out in reverse, and then we have had the Queen of Wands. Oh, wow, yeah, King of Wands just came out. Wow, validation for that. Ace of Pentacles is now upright. Okay, so your financial success is actually going to come from a King of Wands, which seems a little counterintuitive because you think of a King of Pentacles being where your financial abundance would come from, but in this case, it's actually a King of Wands. 11:11 on the timer as I say that. So your financial abundance, it seems like this is going to be a risk for your finances, but in the end, it's actually going to be great for it. Because just remember, we had that 10 of Pentacles, right? All right, one last final message from the Pluto, Oracle of Pluto. Please drop in the comments if this is your reading. I love hearing from you guys. One last message from the Pluto Oracle to end this reading. Oh, I just dropped a bunch on the ground. Oh, we've got Friend. This came out the last time I did this Oracle. We've got Giraffe and we've got Fox. Okay, very different energies here. You know, the Fox can be a little sly, right? We have the Giraffe. You know, I do feel called to pull up in the Oracle deck or the book here to see if there's extra little things that we need to know about these particular animals that can help to kind of clarify what the message is that's trying to come through with these, because nothing's instantly coming through when I think of the giraffe. So let's just see what the giraffe says. I'm pulling up the page right now. Giraffe, meaning balance between the head and the heart, the worldly and otherworldly, walking between worlds. It's interesting that we had the World card come out, right? Let's see. When the giraffe shows up in our readings, we are being called to find this place of balance and how to operate from it. Basically having your feet planted solidly on the ground and your head up in the clouds. Yeah, basically it's like head and heart, okay? Yeah, so basically it's like, are you approaching something too logically? You know, that makes sense. We've had like the Page of Cups kind of energy come through. It's like, you know, are you balancing the emotions of the situation properly? I wonder if I should look up the Fox or not. Should I look up the Fox? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's see what the Fox has to say. I kind of already have a feeling it's going to be something about, you know, be wary of, you know, people who could be, you know, working in the shadows in this sense, or, you know, let's just see. I shouldn't judge, right? Let's see. All right, page 66 for the Fox. Oh, flipped right to it. Okay. Trickster energy, sly, slippery, elusive, and clever. Yeah, sly like a fox. Yep, for sure. That was totally what I was thinking. Trickster energy, asking for your attention. Requires you to think on your feet. Be very cunning in your approach. You must be clever. Huh. Let me get one more. There is a tarot card that fell out on the ground, by the way, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go get it. Unicorn. Ooh, we definitely gotta read about the unicorn. But give me just one second. I'm gonna grab the tarot card that fell on the ground too. I feel called to do it, and I think that might kind of tie this all together. Okay, so it actually was the moon that had fallen on the ground. So we actually already had this major arcana card come out, and it's just speaking to intuition. Okay, so trust your gut. Trust your gut if there's, you know, some people that you encounter on this new path that, you know, may not really seem trustworthy. We also had the alligator card come out as well that had fallen on the floor that I hadn't even seen at all. And that was a very similar message of like, you know, be careful what lurks below the surface. You know, not everyone may be what they seem. We had the unicorn card come out. So I'm gonna go ahead and end on this note, which is synchronicity, magic, and something special. So basically, I'm gonna kind of say that this new path has its risks. It has its downsides in a sense, or it has its risks essentially, but I think at the end of the day it's worth the risk. you're going to have financial success from it. So even though it seems like a financial risk, it's really seeming like you're gonna have financial success with this. So should the mystical unicorn card turn up in your poll, something special is happening in your life, and it's time to pay attention to the synchronicities and magic all around you. The universe is constantly sending us messages. For those who are on the spiritual path, you are probably familiar with the idea of synchronicities. You know, things on the timer, like that we've been talking about. You know, they bring up examples of 444 and 777. We've had some 555s come up in this reading. It's possible that you know you're onto something big, which may even feel like a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Pay special attention to the world around you now and take advantage of this unique and beautiful energy to birth something significant. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a big path that you're choosing. It's, you know, it feels a little wishy-washy back and forth and kind of like a big risk, but I feel like you've already made the decision. I feel like you're already clear about it. And this is just to basically trust your gut is what this is saying. Trust your gut on all fronts. Trust your gut towards this path that you're moving on. Trust your gut towards the people that you interact with. This is basically saying trust yourself and go for it because you're going to have financial success. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you guys so much. Again, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out. Drop in the comments if this was your reading.